Hey, thanks for hitting play. Look, I've got to say, as a solo business owner, I spend a lot of time in my own head and I enjoy that. Like I actually really enjoy thinking about things, mulling over things while I'm either running or when I'm journaling or just in downtime, just trying to sort things out in my own mind. But honestly, nothing accelerates that more than being around people that get it. And I wanted to really just share a quick episode with you today. This was recorded following a strategy sesh. I don't even know what we call it. We have to give it a cool name, Petra and Maike. What we call our catch-ups. We usually catch up sort of every, 40 to 50 days. We're all business founders. I do kind of similar things. And we've set up this ritual where we spend a couple of hours with Post-it notes and really interesting questions and work through processes and help each other out and sort of brainstorm. Like, I guess it's a mini mastermind, but then it's also followed by 2 hours of good food and bubbles as well. And it's this really fun ritual. And going into today, I was like, I've just come back from 2 weeks away. I don't know if I've got time for this. And that was ridiculous. It's been the best thing that's happened all year in terms of like just thinking clearly and thinking bigger, but also validating ourselves and going, hey, we're doing okay. Like what do we actually want here? And just working through that in conversation. Every time that this happens and I'm around really cool people, I'm just amazed at what emerges. And that's the kind of spirit I want to bring to the Red Carpet Campout. So if you haven't heard of that, it's linked in the show notes. I'm not going to give too much of a spiel about it. It's on the 10th to 12th of March. So if that interests you, happy to jump on a call and chat to you about it. So I didn't really give the girls a prompt. I basically just took up my phone, I hit record, and I just started this intro, which you're about to hear now. So this is like highly unedited. I think I swore once and I've removed that. But apart from that, this is good to go. Let me know what you think. Let me know who inspires you and enjoy the episode. Okay, so you're catching us live. We are doing this amazing ritual I have with my friends Petra, Zink and Maike Neuhaus, and I'll get them to introduce themselves in a second. They've had a couple of Proseccos. We've had the most invigorating, fun chats. I just wanted to share a highlight of what that looks like and why you should have and curate your own friendship groups and do something like this. So Petra, who are you?
Petra Zink. I'm a personal brand strategist and executive coach.
And she's on a mission to do 10 pull-ups this year, but she has a fierce rival in Maike. Maike, who are you? What's your goal with trying to beat?
Well, I just want to beat Petra in her 10 unassisted pull-ups. I think I'm on the right track. But I'm a psychologist by trade. I specialize in positive psychology and self-leadership. So I'm all about helping individuals and organizations to understand what we as humans need to flourish so we can realize our potential and create lives that excite us.
You've said that before.
Have I?
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. Yeah. And just for those that are listening, I just hit record. There was no preempting. I didn't say, hey, we're going to talk about this, so we're going to go completely off script. But let's just talk about the value of having a group of people there's three of us. We kind of love each other. We love these days. We look forward to them. Why do you think they're so invigorating?
I would say because we challenge our own thinking and our own status. Like never ever do we get out of a meeting where we don't have a new insight or a new aha moment or a new, oh wow, feedback that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
100%. I would definitely back that. I would also say as a psychologist, obviously, that there's a lot of psychological safety. So I always feel 120% that in this group, I can say and be whatever I want to say and be without judgment and get honest feedback.
Yeah.
I think that's so invaluable.
I agree. And I think one of the things we spoke about was on LinkedIn, how it's quite vanilla and it's like, how can we just be more of ourselves? And I think even if we shared 10% of what we spoke about today on LinkedIn, we would have 1 million followers each because it's provocative, it's edgy, but we're sort of brave enough to share things that we wouldn't. I mean, look, Prosecco helps as well. And, Petra, what Prosecco did you bring today? It's actually delicious.
It is the best. It's only available at the cellar doors at the Hampton Lane Winery in the Tambourine Mountains in Australia.
Thank you very much for the sponsorship. Petra, you said before that you come into these sessions and you have a sort of radical reframe or you one insight. So what has that insight been for you today?
Today was definitely to dial up everything that we're doing and create more controversial content to actually create communities. Because nowadays everyone can create community content, by simply copy and pasting whatever ChatGPT gives us. Whereas if you have a controversial opinion based by your experience, based on your personality, based on your background, nobody can copy that. So I think we shouldn't be afraid to be a lot more opposing or a lot more controversial, just in the fear of upsetting somebody. You will always upset somebody.
Yeah.
There's no point of trying to please everyone, because then you're the nice option and she's a great girl or guy, and doesn't get us anywhere.
Yeah. I remember on one of these episodes I mentioned, I think it was during the scams episode, I was really hesitant to say that one of the biggest scams I think is Wicked the musical. And I remember like actually recording that and going, oh, I'm going to offend some people here. And like, why? It's like, it's my opinion. I stand by it. Petra agrees. It's a terrible musical.
Literally at the break, we left. We couldn't even make the second half how bad that was. And we paid a lot of money for those seats.
I tell you, it felt liberating. I remember where I was when I said it.
Yes.
Leanne, like just dive into this and to share how you think. And I think as I evolve with this podcast, I really want to be more of that person. Maike, what's been an insight for you today?
I think for me, one of the insights is that some things just need to be written out and some things you can't speed up. I think as a society, we always try to speed up things and to get away from the hesitation station, as you like to say, Leanne, or, to get out of stuckness and unstuck yourself straight away and get back into action. But I think some things just need to mature, just like a good wine or Prosecco. And I think, as business owners or solopreneurs, the same counts. Sometimes you find yourself in phases of languishing where you will probably constantly question yourself and think you shouldn't feel like this. You should have more clarity. You need to take more action. You should follow certain business strategies. And even, to be honest, coming into our business strategy session today, I know we love to have our catch-ups, and I know you both are very big on strategy. And coming in here today, I thought, wow, I feel like I haven't even put anything into action since our last session, and I don't need any strategy at the moment because I just need to ride out the wave I find myself in. And I think that's completely underrated, because sometimes we ride those waves of not having any clarity for some very good reason. Because the world is constantly changing, we are constantly changing, and sometimes we just need some time to land on our feet and find ourselves again. And that might just take some time. And I think sometimes the best thing we can do is just ride out that wave and be patient with ourselves and allow ourselves to be in that phase without any judgment. I think that's the best thing we can do to then gain new clarity.
What about
you? Yeah, that's right. For me, well, it was funny, actually, Maike, when you were getting the Uber Eats from downstairs, I was, I announced my retirement to Petra. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to invest in cryptocurrency. Everything is moving so quickly. But I think, what does make, I think it goes back to like what makes an ideal, not an ideal, like perfect day, but the ideal normal day. And as I was reflecting as part of this conversation, it's like, oh my gosh, I've already got most of the ingredients. Like I get to do some really cool things. I get to travel. I get to have a creative outlet with this podcast, and like, what do I actually want? And I think we have to keep going back to, we can get distracted by, I've got to build an audience to get a publishing deal. It's like, or you could just approach a publisher and get a publishing deal. Like, why are we creating all these sort of things in our mind? What do you actually want? Such a really important question. But I came in, I wasn't really feeling invigorated about the year, actually, even coming in today. And I'm like, what can I offer you? Like, and I just walked out going, wow, Radical Reframes, particularly talking about creating experiences, and what do people actually want? Do people want to meet us and be challenged by us? Or are they more comfortable watching us pursue risks and challenges from the sidelines?
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting point.
100%. So good.
And I think you all need a community, even if it's one person or, 10 people, doesn't really matter, with an audience, like a group that you can bounce off ideas in a very safe space, as you said, because whatever we put out there, there's no judgment. There's no, oh my God, you should have figured it out by then, or you should grow up and blah, blah. Like you get judged all the time anyway. You don't need in your close circle of friends to be judged even more. And we are all our biggest enemies to start with anyway. Like we are all beating ourselves up that we're not, beautiful enough and rich enough and successful enough, whatever enough even means. We don't need somebody else to do that. So if you create a safe space where you can say, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing, give constructive feedback to each other without being upset, and then go away and actually digest it and see, what do you take out of this and what do you put in practice and what doesn't fit you, and let the rest go.
Yeah.
And it really helps when you're a gorgeous rooftop. So Maike's hosting us. Amazing. Brisbane, River City apartment. That really helps. By the way, Maike, Petra and I are going to do a LinkedIn takeover of each other's accounts. That's something we spoke about today. So we're going to just jump on each other's accounts and post about what we find special and unique about each other. So I'll link to that whenever it happens in the show notes for this. Thanks so much for listening. Any parting thoughts or words?
No pressure. Talk about business orgasms.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck, Edison.
Great.
Be surrounded by people who challenge you, at the same time celebrate you, and
get you to the peak.
I don't know what I meant.
I get over it now.